Guys, it's Robin, Art Silent Crafts, and welcome to my craft room. This has been the week of mail, so I do have another package to open here. This is the quilt kit from Margaret Leuwen Quilting. This was sent to me, very generously sent to me by a couple of ladies. Thank you, Margaret and Gail. I really appreciate this. We're going to open it together today. See what this gorgeous fabric looks like. I saw it online. Gail went ahead and already made up the quilt so that we could all see it, and then Margaret can have pictures for the pattern and stuff like that. So I already know what it's going to look like when it's finished. It's not a surprise to any of us, but to see the fabrics in person, it's going to be way different than to see it in a picture on Facebook. So let's go ahead and open this up. I only got as far as cutting the tape because I kind of make some of you nervous when I have my rotary cutter, and if you saw me with a razor blade, you would kind of freak out. So I did that ahead of time, and then we're going to open this up and see what's inside. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to Margaret's Facebook up there in the iCard, and if for some reason you don't see it down there, go ahead and look in the description box. And when you go to her YouTube channel, just go ahead and look in the description box just like you do here for me and anyone else, and you'll see everywhere that she goes. She does have an online quilt shop where she will be selling this pattern for this. I believe she told us that she has the first, we'll double check when we open this, but I believe it's 4 patterns a month for 6 months. So she should have those at the first 4 patterns, I believe she said, are going to be ready sometime soon if they're not already up by the time you see this. Go ahead and check out her shop and then just kind of stalk her until they're ready. If you follow her on YouTube, she'll let you know when her patterns are all ready to go. She does a live stream every Sunday where it's a good place to get all the updates and what's going on with her and her shop and the different patterns and fabric and stuff. But anyway, let's open the box. Now, as I said, I've already seen these fabrics. I've seen them online. These are not my colors, but saying that, they are still gorgeous and they're going to make a beautiful quilt. Just because I like the bright stuff doesn't mean I don't also like some of the more subtle colors. And I really do like the reddish pinkish with the green and stuff. You can see some of it already through the bag that she's wrapped it in, which is really good. Don't you love when people put fabric inside something like this just in case the box gets wet? Then you don't have to worry about your fabric or your yarn or whatever you happen to be ordering, so it's not going to get ruined. Look how neat and pretty all that is. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the box so that we can look at it, but there's a good preview of everything. See these greens and these corally reds and pinks and stuff, they work really good together. She's gotten this, so like all the different things, you can pull the different colors all the way through. I am terrible at matching fabrics. This could be all from the same line for all I know. You know, I'm just going to make things. I don't always pay attention to what goes from where, but I believe these all came from the same line. Once again, we're going to look and see if the pattern's in the bottom here possibly. And then we're going to also find out from Margaret. She's going to tell us everything. She's going to be showing us how to make each of these blocks every month as they come out. I'm also going to be doing videos. As long as you guys are enjoying watching them, I'll keep making them, and I'll do videos so that you can watch me make the blocks, because I haven't perfected that 1/4 inch, so it's going to be fun to see if I can get that, to get these blocks to all come out right. There is going to be a little bit of fabric left over from each. She said maybe about 1/8 of a yard left over from each of the fabrics, so I have to be very careful. I cannot make mistakes and just start all over with another fabric. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge for me, and I'm really up to this challenge. I think this is going to be fun. And what's even better is they still have the selvages on it. So this is cone flowers in sunset colors. And these selvages are going to be fun because they have the leaves on them like that. So that is going to be fun. That'll be fun for a little bit of a leaves. This is from Moda. Robin Picken's for Moda. So I believe, let's pull out the next one and see if it has the same information on it. Moda, 100% cotton, cone flowers and sunset colors. So these are going to be all from the same line. So I thought I had that right. So we're going to I'm going to open these up so that we can see them in their glory. So Margaret has sold out on all of the kits, but as I said, she is going to be having the pattern that's going to be for sale, so you will be able to go ahead and purchase that. Look at this. This has all these cute little bees on it. So there's lots of green fabrics, and as I said, we can go over to Margaret's page on YouTube and she'll have a link to her Facebook group, and you'll be able to see you'll be able to see the finished product. So you'll be able to see all these different fabrics and how they worked together and how cool the whole quilt looks. It's a great design. She designed it herself. You do realize I'm going to have to fold all of this fabric back up, but that's okay. I'm going to need to put it into its own little container, I think, or a special spot so that I can easily reach it and all of the pieces stay together. This is a 6-month project, so yeah. I've never actually finished a quilt-along. I've also never had a kit for a quilt. No one has ever chosen the colors for me. I've just always chosen my own or gone into the scrap bin. So this is going to be fun to see. I'm very determined. I am going to finish this quilt. I'm going to finish it all the way through. Straight through. It's going to actually turn into a finished quilt and not just a quilt top. I have decided that it will be done by the end of next year, since we are going to have plenty of time after we're done making the quilt to go ahead and get it finished. So this one is fun. This one goes like this one, but it doesn't have the light creamy colors onto it. Now, if you check out the Facebook page, oh, look at this, more bees. I love these bees and all the different botanical stuff. If you check out Margaret's page, you'll see that I believe it was her and 2 other people actually had 75 bolts of fabric that they had to cut and put into 56 kits for us. So this, she had to go through and cut all this fabric themselves. This didn't come already cut up or anything like that. She created all of these kits. She said that she cannot purchase any more like bolts of this. If you go over and check out her shop and check out, oh, those are stunning, aren't they? Check out, oh, look, more bees. So bees and leaves are a pretty good theme through here. Check out her shop. It'll show you on the, she'll have all the information on what fabric it is and stuff like that. I've shown you some of my salvages. If you need to ask, I can pull up any more and show you exactly what they are, but it's the Cone Flowers and Sunset Colors fabric line from Moda Fabric. She says it's hard to find online. You might be able to piece it up here and there. You might not be able to get enough for an entire quilt, but you could if you looked hard and found it. Because I'm sure there are shops that are selling little bits of it. For you and I to just buy enough to make one quilt is a little different than Margaret needing to buy enough to make another 10, 28, 30 kits for everybody. So you might be able to find just what you need. I am sure, just like with any other quilt pattern, the fabric requirements are going to be on the pattern, so you can find that. Look at this. So I said, these are not, you guys have seen my fabrics, you know this isn't what I would normally go to. So this is a great thing, because since I don't normally pick out fabrics like this, doesn't mean I don't like them. It just means that that's not what I'm normally drawn to. This is going to be a really fun springtime summer quilt. It's going to be quilted. I'll have it with cotton batting and all that, so it won't be for a summer quilt, but it'll have those colors. And it would look really nice on the bed during that time. If I had a bed that the cats didn't lay on. Who knows, I may choose to go ahead and split this up and not put it into one quilt. Maybe I'll make some wall hangings out of it. I could split up those blocks. They don't all have to go into one quilt, correct? I can be creative. And yet I'll still be following along with everyone else. I'll still be doing the sashing and all the same blocks. As I said, Robin Pickens. What I love about the fabric lines is it's their, excuse me, it's the same designs, but just in different colors. Oh, this is, okay, I think now some of these are half yard cuts and some are more like fat quarters and quarter yards and stuff. Yeah, see how some of these are, we are into the larger chunks, but look at this. Look at those greens. Kind of reminds me of like a Sprite can or something with the dark greens and the light greens. and more of the semi-solids. I love that we are not using solid fabrics, that these have the semi-solids. But as I was saying, fabric lines are great because, I think this might be the sashing, is that everything matches. Everything blends. There's bees in several of them and leaves in several of them, so they all kind of really go nicely together. Look at those. I would do an embroidery project in just these two colors. Now, how fun would that be? Even you could do a quilt in those two colors. But yeah, depending on how it goes, I just might end up making wall hangings. I don't use too many quilts, but if we do move to a cooler climate, I will want quilts. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to decide at all. I'm just going to make the blocks and worry about that when I get to the end, because that is one of the best things about it. We'll figure that all out at the end. We even got a little magnet here. My eyesight's not that good, but I would guess that it's a bridge. I'm sure Margaret will let us know it is, because I'm like, I don't know. It looks like, I would say it's a bridge over the water, but who am I to say, right? You know I get things wrong all the time, but that is fun. I'm going to put that magnet on my fridge. We got all of the things that we need for right now. This is all the fabric that we're going to need. We're going to have a fabric key. So I'm going to show you how to do a fabric key on how you take... I'm going to look at this first and see what's in here. But if you haven't made a fabric key before, it's when you make a copy of something or you print it offline and you take your fabrics that you're going to use for that. Like if they say use a green fabric, you're going to take a little bit of maybe a little 1/2 inch or 1 inch or a little rectangle strip of that fabric, and you're going to tape or glue it down to fabric A that's supposed to be green, so that as you're going through the process, if you set it down for a while and come back to it, you'll always know that fabric A is this fabric and fabric B is that fabric. So we're going to be making a fabric key. I did get 4 blocks, blocks 1, 11, 7, and 10, so we are getting them 4 at a time for 6 months, so that is 24 blocks. And then as time goes by, she's going to be giving us video tutorials, as I said, so that we can see how she designed them and how she meant for them to go together. And then if we get a little bit off, as long as we're careful, then we can do a little bit different. Not everyone makes a 9 patch the same exact way, using the same fabrics the same way. I am going to be extremely careful because I don't want to use any extra fabric. So if she says to make a 9 patch and cut them all 2.5 inches, yes, I will do that. But sometimes people do tend to make, maybe they'll do strips or they'll change it different around, whatever. I don't think I'm going to change anything. I'm going to make it exactly as it said. Like I said, I'm going to use this as a challenge for my ability to read a pattern, follow a pattern, and get that darn 1/4 inch seam. I have a machine that does a 1/4 inch and it has the foot and it's been doing it perfectly fine for me. I just need to practice a little bit on my ironing and my pressing and my steaming and stuff like that. I am using high quality fabrics. This fabric is gorgeous. So that is not going to be an issue at all because, come on, look at this fabric. If it weren't for the fact that it's botanical and flowers, you know, bees and stuff, I would say these colors would be good for a nice Christmas quilt too. So something like this, even though the fabric designs, once you start cutting it smaller, it's going to change it, but it will have that nice look. I've seen a lot of Christmas things where you have a nice quiet calm green, a little bit paler, a little bit lighter colors of the pinks and stuff. So this would actually work really well for a Christmas quilt also, especially if you're somewhere like down here in Florida where it does get chilly, but there's still plenty of sunshine and stuff like that. Or maybe you have someone who's in Hawaii or whatnot, or you're in another country that Christmas is during the summertime for you, that this would be a nice one for Christmas. So as we get going, expect to have some more videos from me. I will be putting them up first on Patreon to let them get a head start, and then they will be coming over here onto YouTube. They are going to be free for everyone, no worries. So that's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and get everything all set up, and as I'm doing different things, I will be recording it. and I will be posting videos. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to be coming up, so it might be a good idea to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and click that little notification bell down there and hit all notifications or all whatever they say it is. That way you'll be notified anytime I do put up a video. These are not going to interfere with my Whip It Wednesday or my Sew With Me Friday. This is going to be a total bonus video that's just going to pop up periodically during the month whenever I have time to actually sew the blocks. So there are 4 blocks. I am hoping to do 1 a week. So that way you'll get a bonus video once every week. And I mean, if I sew them all in one day, that's going to be perfectly fine. But I will do 4 separate videos for you. So you can just go ahead and see the progress on how this goes. And you guys can help me out if I get a little lost, right? Well, that's it for today. Today we are not creating with Scraptitude. We are going to follow the rules and we are going to work from this kit and we're going to have fun. And we're going to go ahead and sew along with a whole bunch of other amazing quilters who will help me out if I get lost. But I really don't think I'm going to get lost. I saw all the blocks, as I said. They look like they're going to be relatively doable. Margaret stated that, I believe I heard her say that we're going to start out with some basic blocks, and as we get sewing each month, that the difficulty level is going to progress a little by little, so that as we get comfortable with it, and then the blocks will get a little bit harder. But not so hard that we can't do it, and we always have Margaret's videos to fall back on. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you love this fabric. Go ahead and check out Margaret's YouTube, because even if you don't want to make this quilt along with me and you just want to kind of hang out and listen to me chat about it, you can go ahead and see what else she's working on and watch her make the blocks too. So that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Before you guys run off to check out everything that I just put links up to, I wanted to show you one of the things that Margaret suggested. I probably would have caught on soon enough to this because I've done this before when I've done regular quilt-alongs, when like swaps and stuff. She suggests a 3-ring binder and to put these little plastic, you know, the sleeves that you put papers in, that we can put each block each month into it, and that way it stays clean and that we don't lose anything, right? So that we'll have it to refer back to or to make a second quilt if we want to. And one of the things I wanted to show you is, look at the quality of the paper that she printed everything on. This is the fabric color sheet. So she shows all of the fabrics that we got and what number they are. So what I'm going to do is, I think I should be able to tell just by looking at this. And if I feel like I can't figure it out just by looking at these colored pictures, I'll just take a little piece of fabric and glue or tape it right next to it. But just by looking at it, I think I'm going to be okay. There's a couple fabrics that are kind of similar and close, but for the most part, everything is very different looking, and I should be able to tell what they are. As I said, if I get a little confused along the way, I'll go ahead and tape just a small smidgen, just along by the selvage area. Just take off a little piece. It doesn't have to be but like a 1/4 inch by maybe an inch, and I'll go ahead and put that in there. So I think having a, well, first of all, having one printed out already for me, but having a fabric key is going to be so valuable as we work through this process. Now, I've done this numerous times when I've done like cross stitching or different embroideries. I like to go ahead and just tape a little piece of the embroidery floss and just number it so I know exactly what it goes for. I've done like these really multi-shades of one color thing. Like I worked on a tiger for Rob when it was in the jungle, so there's like 7 different greens and blendeds, and it's really kind of hard to tell one shade from another. So once I figure it out, I go ahead and tape that color floss down, even write down, if I were to have DMC floss, I'd write the number, but if it comes in a kit, I just tape the floss, and it really helps keep me organized. And the same thing is going to work here for working on these patterns. What I've also done is each block comes with, it's going to be hard to see, so let me pull this out. This is definitely called the Springtime Sampler October 2019 kit, is what it's labeled. Our blocks are going to be 15 inches, so that's going to be a good size block. But each block's paperwork comes with the name of the block. It has a little description of the history of the block, and then it tells us how to do it. So on the second page, you also have a blank diagram that shows where each piece goes that's not colored in, and then what our blocks are going to look like from our kit. So if you purchase the pattern, you'll be able to put your fabrics here, and then our fabrics that came in the kit will show us what it looks like here. So as I start doing the blocks, I'm going to go ahead and read that little bit of a history to you guys so we can see what each block it comes from and the different meanings to it and the different names that they have. But what I did is I put it so that the description and the directions for it is on one side, and I put it back to back so that the picture of it is on the back. And that way when I slide it in the sleeve, I can flip to the directions and I can flip back and see what the picture looks like. So I thought that was going to be pretty helpful for me. I really like the good quality of this paper because normally I just have printer paper, and we all know how crinkled and flimsy and sometimes the ink will not be that well on it. So it's really kind of fun to have one that has everything all the way there. So let me put my little sheet in here. I got my little magnet too. So that's what I'm going to do with mine. I'm going to follow her guidelines and go ahead and put it in the binder like this. If I had a binder that had that little plastic sleeve, the cover that you can put what you're working on in this binder in it, I would go ahead and maybe put the fabric key there or the welcome page. So these are a little bit crinkled and bent over, but they'll straighten out over time. And once the paper goes in there, it's sturdy enough, it'll straighten it out. So I thought that was going to be really good. So I have my 4 blocks in here all ready to go. And then I'll come back and we'll start looking at it when I start cutting everything up. But for now, I am organized and I am all set to go. And that's it. Bye again.